Hello, this is Rachel Jones and this is Kalkine TV's Trending News. The Reserve Bank of Australia's Governor Philip Lowe gave a much anticipated speech in Melbourne this morning on inflation, productivity and the future of money. He said he'd like to focus his remarks today on the challenge of bringing inflation back to target. He highlighted the importance of strategic issues to lift the productivity growth in Australia and also the changing nature of money. The current inflation rate is the greatest it has been in years in many nations. In Australia, the latest available reading on CPI inflation is for the March quarter, showing an inflation rate of 5.1%. This is higher than it has been since 1991 and higher than we had anticipated, despite being lower than most other nations. He said RBA's policy challenge is maintaining an equilibrium in the economy while bringing inflation back to the target range of 2 to 3%. The challenge is clouded with uncertainty due to the Russia-Ukraine war that disrupts the global supply chain. He said domestically, the path back to 2 to 3% inflation will be shaped by how the general inflation psychology in Australia evolves and how Australians respond to higher interest rates. He said we need some slowing in growth in aggregate demand. The current growth in aggregate demand is putting pressure on the capacity of the economy. He said if we don't have higher interest rates, then we're going to have higher inflation persisting. This is addressed through much higher interest rates and a sharp slowing in the economy. So the mindset we have is one of steady increases in interest rates now to forestall a persistent shift in inflation and inflation expectations. By doing that, we can have a lower peak in interest rates and hopefully avoid the need for a sharp slowing in expenditure. It's better to have a modest slowing of expenditure at a time of full employment than a sharp slowing later on when inflation is much higher. He said the Reserve Bank Board raised the cash rate to 1.35% throughout the last 3 sessions, and it anticipates that additional hikes will be needed in the coming months. At the end of his speech, he mentioned the strong regulatory regime required to deal with stablecoins and also central banks using digital currency. He said the RBA is working with other regulators in Australia, given the potential for digital currency to reshape our financial systems. Well, that's the latest from RBA Governor Philip Lowe's speech here on Kalkine TV. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.